There is no group of people who have developed with more than one language in the country. I heard that our president went to Zambia and he was dressed in a certain way and they are insulting him. So they called a man that, what does he think? And they said, oh, we have left our African culture and then we are going to pick a Brofo culture. Now, when they say those things, it sounds nice, isn't it? Like, why should we throw away our culture? But I want to ask you a question, which mostly people don't ask. What is that culture they say that we have abandoned? What is it? They don't add it. What constitutes culture? When you talk about culture, you talk about language. When you talk about culture, you talk about religion. When you talk about culture, you talk about custom, practices, traditions. For instance, why do we bring bride price? It's culture. So it's a custom. It's a practice. Why do we dance this way? It's a tradition that is passed on to us. So these are the various constituents of culture which they say we have abandoned. Let's pick number one, language. In Ghana here, the major languages are 7, but the languages in Ghana is 64. The major ones are Akan, Dagbani, Ewe, Gan, and Hausa. If you study history, there is no group of people who have developed with more than one language in the country. When you study the Europeans, each of them has his own language. When you go to Germany, it's not a half speak French and half speak German. When you go to UK, it's not a half speak English and half speak Swahili. No, the whole country speaks one language. A country that does not speak one language can never develop. Donald Trump has issued a presidential statement that it is only English that America should speak because people are bringing in other languages. The moment they bring other languages, the country will break down. When you go to Asia, they speak one language. China, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, all of them, they speak the same Chinese. There are 3 types: Cantonese, Mandarin, and the rest. There's one language all of them speak. A country can never develop with more than one language. We are here fighting over Obake and Akwaba. Now the question is, if we say we should not throw away our language, what language should we use in our country? The Akans are the majority. Do you think that the Ewe Kansma Hausa will sit down for us to make Akan the language of this country? Kwame Nkrumah should have finished this thing. He had the opportunity to do it. He set up Bureau of National Languages to promote all that. You should have just speak English. Let's run with it. Nobody in this world is respected because of the language they speak. China people are not respected because of Chinese. Chinese language is not a nice language. They are respected because of their contribution to modern development. It's not because of their language. But we are here fighting. I'm from here. I'm from here. We can never develop unless we have one language. So whose language should we use? Number 2, if we all even decide to adopt one language for this country, the language is going to take a period of about 100 years for it to be sustainable and to be used as a means of instruction in academia. I want to ask you a question. How are you going to say hydrochloric acid in Ghana? How are you going to say deoxyribonucleic acid in Ewe? Or what I'm saying doesn't make sense. How are we going to say molecules in Akan? Molecular. So it means that our language does not have even enough vocabulary for us to even use it in the classroom to teach in all subjects. It's not possible. We should rather be humble and adopt English and move on. We should ban the speaking of local languages in our schools and have one language. I am from somewhere. I would have also loved that my language is used. But what I'm saying is that because you will not allow my language and I will also not allow your language, we should pick a neutral language. And by the way, when you go to bank, they don't give you they give you deposit form. We have been anglicized already. Let us swallow our pride. We will never be respected by the dress we wear. There is no society that people are respected for the dress they wear. When you talk about culture, you are talking about dressing. What you people are saying that when Otunfo is going to play golf, he should put on kente to go and play golf. That's why you people are telling us, if you say that we have picked a Brofo culture, we should rather look at how we can solve energy problem in our country. How to solve road. 21st century, you don't have road and you want to be respected because you beat Fonton from. You must be joking. Do you think those who are respected in the world, they are respected because of the dance they have? And of course, you can't talk about culture without talking about religion. If they say that we have adopted Christianity and have thrown away African traditional religion, that sounds nice, but let's go into what African traditional religion actually means. African traditional religion simply means that when you see your first menses, you should be stripped naked with your breast showing and paraded on the street. It's called the Pope. That's what African traditional religion is. Now we pray to God. We say that one is not enough. You are now going to pour libation. Means that until you buy alcohol, you can't reach your God. When a king dies, they kill his wife and his children to follow him to the other world. That's what that tradition is. Mostly they blame the white people. Before the white people came, what were we doing here? We ruled ourselves without the white people for about 400 years. What did we do? We started killing ourselves to pour the blood on the head of our gods. That is what we were doing here. And that's why they should come back to it. We should ask, what culture? The real thing that we have to sit there and ask ourselves is that, what develops a country? How come that 21st century we are still begging before we eat? This is what we should be concerned about, not the dress we wear.